Hey, darlings. So every day or so, I read this meditational devotional from a popular overseas preacher man because they're usually positive. He's very grace based, he's very full of love, and his little devotionals every morning are just this little ray of positivity. Because I try to read the Bible every day, and sometimes that can be heavy. That can be a lot. And so I like having something where every morning I know it's going to be uplifting. But today it was interesting because it was talking about grace, as usual. But he was mentioning that when people think of Christianity, most people think of the Ten Commandments. But that was, old law. Christianity is actually about grace, about love, and about God's forgiveness. And so he's saying, we're focusing on the wrong thing when we think of Christianity. And I was like, heck yeah, agreed. And then he goes on to say that when you're grace-based, it's a lot easier to let go of sins. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because if you're just full of condemnation and you're constantly focused on all the things you're doing wrong, you're more likely to do them. Like, you feel terrible because you're full of guilt and shame, and you just keep doing them. And it's a terrible, just vicious circle. My brain is special right now. So yeah, it's not a good thing. But then he went on to say that if we have God's grace and his forgiveness, then we can have the right sexuality and we can abstain from premarital sex. And I was like, oh, you lost me here, brother. Like, that's one I struggle with so much because I don't get it. I mean, I do. In the olden days, it was the safest thing to only have sex with one other person and to wait until you were committed to each other. Makes sense. Even nowadays, it is one of the safest ways of going about it. But we're made with the sex drive. And so I'm just like, but even if you're looking at it from a grace-based love point of view, the fact that if you believe that you are just closer to God and feel more of his love and his forgiveness, that it will fix your sexuality or help you with your evil lusts, I think that can be very damaging. I don't like that. Because then people are going to just pray harder and they're going to try to be with God more. And they're going to be like, God, why don't you take this from me? What am I not doing right? Why am I not close enough to you? I mean, God gave you those desires and whatever kind of sexuality you have. So I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. And I don't know why we're so fixated on that as a sin. Doesn't exactly make sense to me, but I just feel like that thought is so damaging. It's so hurtful, and I don't like it. I like all the love stuff. I don't like the saying that getting closer to God will fix that, because if you have the wrong sexuality, you're not broken. You don't need fixing. And as far as sexual stuff, I'm not a fan of hookup culture. I actually do not, at least for me, no bueno. I have to know someone decently well before I can have an amazing time. But yeah, just people you don't know very well, willy-nilly. Like, I feel like it's like forcing connection, or it's getting this false connection if you don't know someone particularly well. And I feel like people nowadays are having a harder and harder time of connecting. So they're trying to go about it in an easier way. If that makes sense. I do not know if that makes sense. I feel like that could be offensive in some way. But it's bedtime, and my brain's being a little bit slow. So anyway, the moral of the story. Why am I saying that? The point is that I'm all for grace and forgiveness and love. Super there for it. I'm all for the idea of knowing that God loves you. He's like loves you a lot. But not that if you get closer to him, it will fix something that's not broken. Because if you're anything other than straight, you're not broken. You are amazing. And yeah, the sexy stuff, that one's harder. An awesome place to look would be God is Gray's Brenda. She has a video on sexual integrity, which I really enjoyed. And I only remember part of it, but I feel like she was giving a alternative to purity culture, to wait until marriage culture. And that's sexual integrity. So it mostly involves consent and doing no harm. And I liked it. I should watch it again because I forgot. I am really rambly, and I'm going to stop now. So I hope you have a wonderful night. And okay, bye.